And we got to talk about those Purdue Boilermakers because they went on the road and they lost to a Michigan State team that had dropped 5 of their last 6, 3 in a row, and had some people questioning whether or not this was a team that was going to make it into the NCAA tournament. Ryan, how worried should we be about Purdue right now?
I think you have to be worried, truthfully. So they have 5 losses. I believe they're all in conference, right? So I think they ran through their non-conference and they were fine. I was worried. Just looking at the game, Stefanovic over 3, the shooting 1 of 9 from 3, that's not going to get it done. I don't care if you have the Twin Towers down there. It's still, I thought they were going to go into Michigan State and win. I think Michigan State, I haven't been very high on this year. But, that gutsy win by them. But, yeah, I think Purdue's got to start, answering the bell a little bit, truthfully.
I thought Julius Marble came in and did a great job on some of those bigs. Like, he was strong, he was physical, he did a lot of things. I'm worried about Purdue because offensively we know they can go. And if they don't have a good night offensively, a lot of teams need to rely on their defense. They're in the hundreds defensively. And you can disguise a lot of those things, Ryan, by having guys that can score it. But the problem is you better get some timely stops. And that shot today by Tyson Walker at the end of the game, that was big time. And I thought the matchup was weird. And I'm never questioning Coach Painter ever. I'm not questioning him. But Michigan State went really small, and Travion Williams was still out there. So he ends up shooting over the top. Obviously, it was a tough shot, but you got to get stops, man. In the tournament, you're not going to be able to score every game. You got to find ways to get stops. I thought it spoke volumes about what this Purdue team is, because you play tough competition in a ruckus environment. You got to get stops, and they weren't able to do so today. So I've been high on the Boilermakers. You guys know this. Today, I'm not completely jumping off the bandwagon, but I got a foot off, and I'm looking for the next stop sign.
I think I'm off the bandwagon. I think I am for a couple of reasons. One, there are 2 teams that this group reminds me of. One of them is last year's Iowa, right? Great offensive team, big lumbering 5-man, couldn't guard anybody, got knocked out in the second round by Oregon. They also remind me of that 2012 Missouri team. Remember Frank Haith's first year, where he came in? They had Ricardo Ratliff surrounded by 4 shooters. They were the best offense in the country. And
where the hell are you pulling that from?
They finished the year. They finished the year rated 154th in defensive efficiency on KenPom. They couldn't guard it, Doster. And do you know what happened? Wow. Do you know what happened in the first round? What happened in the first round of the tournament that year? Ryan Daly was 8 years old when that happened, but he might know.
Yeah, they lost, right? Were they a 2 seed?
Yeah, they were a 2 seed. They lost to Norfolk State and Kyle O'Quinn. Yeah, and Kyle O'Quinn. So those are the 2 teams that this Purdue group reminds me of. I got one more.
Kimmy English. Did Kimmy English text you about that?
No, but he probably will right now to yell at me about bringing it back up. There's one other thing that worries me, right? So we talk about how they don't really have great point guard play. Isaiah Thompson tonight played
point guard play.
Isaiah Thompson played 15 minutes off the bench and didn't register a single stat anywhere. No shots, no turnovers, no steals,
he was Mark Titus fouls, today.
No rebounds. He had a 15 trillion. Ethan Morton played 19 minutes off the bench today. He had 2 rebounds and 1 steal, and that was it. That was the only thing that he did. That's hard to do. And when one of your point guards, one of your most important players, is literally not doing a damn thing when he's on the floor, that's a problem.
Yeah, I felt like when we saw them back early in the season, I felt like Payne had his rotations. Now, the point guards were making shots, okay? They were making shots. They were left wide open. And whether it was, Thompson or Hunter, they were making shots back then. I also thought it was almost better when they had Caleb first, because he was really good. And I thought he was going to progress. And then Gillis came back, and, they've kind of tried to figure Morton. They got a bunch of different dudes now that they're rotating in. I'm not sure Payne has his kind of rotation down. Everybody else this time of year, I feel like the best teams have their 8-man rotation right now. And when you're playing 10 guys and you don't know who's playing each night and kind of the roles. Now, again, it still gets back to point guard play and defense ultimately for Purdue. Those are the 2 things that matter the most. But I want to see more of Caleb first. I thought he was really, really good early as a young kid. And again, he's kind of stagnated because of those other guys.
Yeah, I can't buy into a team that can't guard.